a big mouth, you know, a know-it-all.
Don't listen to him, he's an ink poop.
The guy is a radio genius, but he's got a hell of a lot to learn.
So this is about the RT82, and this version of the RT82 has got the hack firmware on. So it will be a review of the RT82 with the hack firmware features. So the RT82 is very similar, in fact it's virtually the same radio as the MD 2017, and they've both been out a couple of years, and I had the 2017 originally, the MD 2017, and that had problems with the aerial socket and the transmit button, a bit weak, and you don't get those problems with the Retevis radios because they're I don't know what the difference is, but they must be made with different parts, or the parts are sourced from somewhere else. But there's been no problems with the RT82, so I asked Retevis if they could kindly send over a review radio now the tools is available, because I'm a big fan of the experimental firmware of the tie tools on the MD380, on the RT3, and I thought I'd check it out and do a slightly different review to everyone else now it's got the tools. Now the tools, the tie tools, the experimental firmware is beta software, and if you want beta software it means you've got to accept bugs, because that's what beta means. You're testing software and you report in any errors to back to the company. So anyway, there's a few things that are, you know, not perfect, but as long as you're careful what you press, you know, it actually works really well. So I'll show you around the radio. Right, so this has got the experimental firmware on it. I put it on myself. In fact, I did a video explaining how to put the firmware on. This is the GPS version, and when it comes from the manufacturer it does not have the tools on, so that's your choice whether you put it on or not. And you know, this radio has got the trackball on it, the white light in the middle there with the left and right and up and down arrows. They don't do anything, that's just indicating the direction of the trackball. But you don't have to use the trackball. You can program the buttons P1 and P2 to operate the left and right. So P1 is left, I've set that as left, P2 is right, and on the side I've got that as up and down. There's a helicopter going past at the moment, that's great. So if I press the right, the P2, it goes through the channels right. So you don't have to use the trackball, so that's not a reason to be put off. So I'm just going to press left again. So like I say, I put the tools on here, and there's two advantages to having the tools on the RT82. You get some really useful features where you can change talk group. You've seen me talking about it before. Change talk group just by entering the talk group, and you can do that whether you're on a hotspot or you can do that if you're on a repeater. And the other killer feature is I have put the Dmr database on the radio. So when someone keys up, you'll see their call sign. Now, there's someone transmitting there. When it says ID unknown, that's because I haven't updated it for a few weeks. But you can see how it displays the contact information. It looks really nice. The audio quality is very good. I'm very impressed with the audio quality. Just turn it up a bit. So I'm quite impressed with the speaker. I think it's very good audio. I think people are just keying up, they're not actually talking. So I'll turn it down again. So it's a very nice design. It's very futuristic, very modern looking design. I'm just going to move it back a bit. You've got the transmit button on the side, and you've got two presets there which I use for up and down. You've got a red button on the top, which is another preset, and you've got P1 and P2, and all of these can be assigned a short and long press. Now, I actually don't mind the trackball. The trackball works very well, but sometimes it's handy for more precision to use the left and right buttons. Now, the design of this radio, it's quite tall. Let me compare the height to some other radios you might know. There's the Anytone, so it's a bit taller than the Anytone. But it's a lot thinner. It's a lot thinner than the Anytone. Let me just turn them both round. So it's a lot thinner than the Anytone radios. And let's look at it next to a UV5R. Turn it round a bit. So it's nice, you know, I don't use belt clips. I don't put belt clips on them. So quite like the design. Trying to get some audio on here so we can hear someone talking. Now this radio, I asked them to send this one because it's programmable from the front. You can program in a station, a channel that you don't have in when you're out and about. And with the added feature that you can enter talk groups, it makes it very flexible. So, you know, you could have a really simple code plug going on your radio. You could have one channel for your hotspot, and you type in the numbers, or you could have your local DMR repeater programmed in, you know, put the slot 1 in and the slot 2 in, and you can link that to any talk group you want, so you don't need multiple instances of the same channel. So you could have a super simple code plug, and there's no one speaking at the moment, but these are quite reasonable radios at the moment. I was just looking at the price. I think it was $126 for the GPS version. This is GPS. And $119 for the non-GPS version. So it's dual band, FM and DMR. So I'm going to try and get some audio on the radio, try and get a quick contact, and then I'm going to show you how we enter the talk groups. 2E0 UKH, just after a demo contact please. when you key up it shows the last person you were talking to's call sign, which is handy.
Foxtrot 5, Victor Mike Romeo.
Yep, Foxtrot 5, Victor Mike Romeo. Chris, this is Chris, this is 2E0 UKH. How are you receiving me, Chris?
Receiving you loud and clear. Readability 5, Fox 5 MR.
Yeah, well, you're sounding pretty good. I'm on the RT82. I've put the hack firmware on here, and I'm just doing a video of it, if you don't mind. I'm just capturing some audio. So anyway, thanks for coming back. I just wanted to get some audio and see how it sounded and how I sounded to you. So when I key up, it's got his call sign, so I don't want to see my call sign when I key up. You want to know who you're talking to, so that's a nice idea.
Roger that, it's all copied. I forget which of those devices it's a copy of the Dmr. Is it the MD390? Or is it the UV380? I cannot remember. Perhaps you could remind me. Fox 5 VMR.
Yeah, the RT82, Chris, is it's just like the MD 2017. It looks like that, but the RT82 came out, and when it first came out, it didn't have all the antenna problems and things. I think they get the hardware. It's slightly different hardware, so and now the tools are available on it. You can just type in a talk group, and you can update the database using a little tool on the Retevis website, which is very handy. And you don't have to use the Excel method to get the contacts in. So makes it quite easy to use and program.
M70YT. Yes, okay, that and acknowledge the break. Okay, that's very interesting stuff. I know somebody with a 2017, but wasn't aware of any additional tools for it, which makes it quite useful. I'm using an RC3 here with the possibility of an MD380G when this battery dies, and an MD9600 mobile. Okay, I wish you 73. Good luck with your demonstration, and speak to you again soon. Fox 5 VMR.
Yeah, okay, yeah, thanks Chris for the demo. Much appreciate that. I'll let you take that break station, and thanks for the demo. 732E0 UKH. So I'll just turn that down. So I thought that was a good feature, how when you key up it shows the other person's call sign. I know my call sign, I don't need to know, you know, it says it on the screen, so I was trying to remember what it said, but it says it on the screen. Now that line you can see there, that is a characteristic of the hack firmware. So
Mike 7 Tango Yankee Tango Fox 5 VMR.
So that won't be on it if you had the standard firmware, but like I say, it's experimental. It's beta software, and I like tinkering with it. So I just wanted to show you some of the features of the hack firmware, of the experiment. It's not a hack, it's experimental. It's altered firmware. So like I said, I can enter the talk group. I'm on my hotspot. I've got a channel which is made for 2350, the UK calling. And if I go into menu and then take it down to utilities, baked into the operating system the software on the radio, you've got set talk group. So I can delete that away. Never know if it's this button or the one below. Yeah, it's the one below. I can enter in a talk group. So if I want to go TAC 310, just type in 310. I'm looking at the green light on the top. When it's not on, I've got to click confirm. Actually, confirm first. Wait for the green light to go out. Always make that mistake. Press confirm, transmit. And I'm now on TAC 310. So this is the, you've got the tools there. So if I go into that, it's actually a cut down version of the tools. It's not identical to the 380. It's a nice simplified menu. There's not many menu items, and that's it. If you go to show calls, you can say what do you want it to show. Contacts from the CPS, from the user database, or talk alias. That's not proper talk alias. I believe it uses the Dmr Database but displays them in the talk alias format. So I have it on user database. So that's pretty cool. You can enter the talk groups yourself. And there is a tool which is free to download on the Retevis website, which has got the it's the user database manager. You know, the Dmr Database manager. You can flash all the contacts over, and it's over 100,000. Not exactly sure how many it is, but I very rarely get one come up that says ID not found. Normally because I haven't updated it in a while. So my conclusion on the RT82, it is a very good radio. It's very good. You don't have to put the experimental firmware on there. If you do, you've got the feature to enter talk groups. If you don't want that, you can have the normal more stable version of the firmware. But I've got that as well. I've got the normal firmware, but with the tools menu, you know, where you can enter talk groups and things. So it just makes it more flexible. But you just got to be aware that there are problems, you know, bugs. It's beta software, and you've got to be careful what buttons you press. You know, I've got it down. I know what to press. If you press a button that's not a number, you know, like star or hash or something, I've had it before where it's gone black screen with unusual writing, and I don't really know what's going on. So I've learnt not to press anything. Let's see. Probably can't get it to do it now. But I have pressed the wrong thing, and you get some sort of net monitor or something come up. But it's a handy feature to have, because there's always one talk group someone says go to, and you can't get there in a hurry. So what I like about the radio, I like the build quality. It's nice and slim, futuristic design, very modern looking, exceptionally good speaker on it. The trackball, I didn't think I'd like the trackball, but I don't actually mind it. Sometimes it's more handy to use the left and right. It's more precise. You know, it doesn't have a dedicated channel knob on the top. If you really like the channel knob on the top, something like the RT3S or the Alliance HD1 would be better, or the Anytone. and you know, overall I think I'm going to keep it on here, the tools. You know, if you do get the black screen come up and it, you know, you don't know what, you just turn it off and then back on and you're back to here. So yeah, overall I'm really impressed with it. It's a good radio. It's not too expensive. It's come down in price, and you know, you don't really need the GPS version, so you can get this for, what is it, £118 some dollars, and it's dual band. And the analog side of things works fine. I have put a few channels in. Let's see if I can open a... See, that's the thing I was on about. I don't know what's going on there. I think it's saying the different contacts that are coming through TAC 310, but I couldn't work out how to come out of it. That was the awkward thing. Press back. So I couldn't work out how to come out of that. I think I did once, but I've forgotten. So turn it off, back on, and you're back to square one. So the analog side of things, I was just about to show you that. I have got some repeaters in. That's right, I muted that channel. So I've put an actual DMR repeater in there. That's my local repeater, and it works great on actual DMR repeaters. I have had some problems with some DMR radios. They don't like repeaters. And let's just see. What other channels I've got in. So I've just put 2 instances of that repeater in, slot 1 and slot 2, and then you can enter the talk group yourself. Link it to anything, unlink it. That's my all-star node. I just put that in there in case, you know, and left that as a blank line, so I don't have to have 2 lines. Prefer to have 1 line on display. And I put a load of dummy channels in that I can quickly edit all the frequency and stuff, the mode, colour code and all these settings. So that's a repeater I had in. That's an FM repeater. On this little aerial, that's a VHF. I don't know if I'll be able to open it. Might have to move it about a bit. Try off. So that's about 10 miles away, that one, that repeater. Let's see if I can open it. So just on that little aerial, can't really do a proper demo, but it works great on FM. I've got my All-Star FM repeater, which is linked to All-Star and Echo Link, and you know, all these Chinese radios, the analog is always the same, you know, and they must use the same chip. You know what to expect with that, but there's no actual problems with it. So yeah, very pleased with the radio, and thanks to Retevis for sending it over. So I'll look forward to using that in the future and doing some more tests, and if more updates come out for the firmware, I'll be checking them out, and I'll no doubt do more videos on that. Right, 7-3, and catch you soon. 2-0 UKH, back to standby.